To our continuing special series, the election, the Jubilee Party Vice Chair David Murathe says the ruling Jubilee administration was sure of a first-round win during last year's general election after it mobilized supporters to register as voters en masse. Murathe says the ambitious development agenda during President Uhuru Kenyatta's first term also gave a perfect launchpad to clinch a second term with ease.
This marks a new beginning for our country, a beginning in which we hope that we shall march together as Kenyans.
Mandela could shake hands with de Klerk. What is wrong in Raila Odinga shaking hands with Uhuru Kenyatta?
But on those items that are for the benefit of mwananchi, tutaunga mkono.
Nia yetu ni kushirikiana kwa manufaa ya wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Kuna makosa tukishirikiana jamani.
Now we are very focused on the 4 agendas, which you know that those 4 agendas will change the lives of our people.
When the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission announced the final 30 days mass voter registration exercise for the August 8, 2017 general election, the Jubilee strategists hit the ground running and used every trick in the to recruit members. IEBC targeted to have 22 million voters register for the poll. As at June 30th, 2016, the electoral body had registered 15.8 million voters. Jubilee took advantage of the window to boost numbers.
We knew our potential for new voters was 2.7 million voters. The NASA strongholds had potential for 4.7 million. At the end of the exercise, we had registered 2.1 million. They, on the other hand, had registered only 1.7 million. So you can see, in terms of the registered voters, we were already ahead.
But even as Jubilee rolled out its campaigns, the opposition National Super Alliance equally unveiled a campaign machinery to wrestle power from Jubilee and have their man occupy State House.
We were sure of the first round win. We already knew in 2013, we were 51 with 80,000 votes. After 5 years in power, we knew it could only get better.
Elections, IEBC declared Jubilee's presidential candidate Uhuru Kenyatta winner. NASA contested the win, but said it shall not petition the Supreme Court to overturn the IEBC verdict.
NASA was not going to go to court. In fact, it's the civil society that had intended to go to court. If you remember, it was the AFRICOG and the Katiba Institute, and then they had issues, and therefore they had no locus. Somebody must have advised them to go to court. They had internalized the victory of Jubilee.
A few days before close of the appeal window, NASA moved to court. The mercurial move might have caught Jubilee by surprise.
We were always prepared in terms of the likelihood of a petition, because we know in Africa, very few people accept defeat. Then we had a team of lawyers who were making sure that every aspect of this election was covered.
Judges of the Supreme Court of Kenya, in a unanimous decision, nullified the presidential election, citing massive irregularities. Jubilee was not amused. Jubilee legal team proposed a vote recount, but that failed, since it was not part of Jubilee prayer.
Since nobody was talking about the numbers, nobody was disputing the numbers, there was no point of asking for a recount. Up to the last minute, the issue was about open the servers, open the servers, open the servers, and we conceded. And when they talked about server scrutiny, in fact, most of the areas which became problematic were NASA areas.
The repeat presidential election was to be conducted within 60 days. IEBC set October 26, 2017, the date for the repeat poll. The opposition claimed the poll will not be free and fair. NASA demanded a leveling of the playing field. IEBC went to court, and judges said the law must be observed.
Now, some of the things they were asking to be done, quite clearly, could not have been done within 60 days, and they knew it.
The opposition said it would boycott the repeat election. And as Jubilee engaged in the second round of campaigns, the opposition never showed appetite to campaign, leaving its supporters in a catch-22 situation. Jubilee strategists might have been monitoring the opposition's body language to avoid a second surprise within 60 days. NASA's presidential candidate Raila Odinga kept the country on tenterhooks, telling supporters he was to make a big announcement a few days to the repeat poll.
What they did was none of our business. We were waiting for them at the ballot for the second repeat election. Remember, Raila purported to have withdrawn, but he never put it in writing. And I'll tell you the reason. Because if he had actually, you remember the first ruling of the Supreme Court was that it was going to be a Raila versus Uhuru. If Raila had withdrawn formally in accordance with the law, Uhuru should have been declared president without subjecting the country to a repeat election. We would have now gone to inaugurate and swear him in. So they were leaving those grey areas to play with the minds of Kenyans.
On March 9, 2018, President Uhuru Kenyatta and NASA leader Raila Odinga made a peace pact symbolized by a handshake. The two leaders are now building bridges of reconciliation and have urged supporters from both divides to focus on development. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.